Roy Jones Jr., welcome back to the UK. Thank you very much for joining us here with Chris Eubank Jr. Ahead of his big fight next week. How are you feeling, sir?
Feeling well, feeling very well.
Talk to us a little bit about what you've been up to since the last time we caught up, which was, of course, in Manchester around Chris Eubank-Marcus Morrison fight.
Yeah, I've just been taking it easy, not doing too much, just staying on go. You know me, I just try to stay ready, just keep my mind right, and I've just been training people.
Talk to us a little bit about Chris Eubank in that time. What have you seen in him? Have you tried to develop a little bit more? He spoke earlier about having 2 strong training camps, so obviously the second one is since that fight. What have you seen in him?
I've seen him improve on the things that I've taught him. I've seen that he's been working hard diligently on the things that I taught him, and the fact that he still works on it every day means that it got to his head. He understands it, because if he didn't understand, he wouldn't be better at it right now. Now he's even better at it than he was when I last seen him, so it's a good thing.
When we first spoke, after you started working with Chris, you said you were shocked at just how much he wanted to work. He was always looking to put more time in. Is that ethic still there? Are you still seeing that from him?
It's still there. It's just that he went through a lot of things this year, with his brother passing, COVID-19, and he had a lot of issues that came up between last fight and this fight. So, life happens, and there's nothing you can do about that. So, but when you get here, when you talk to him, he's still a sponge. He still soaks up everything you tell him. So I think that eagerness still is there.
What do you make of his opponent this time, Sven Elbir? What does Sven bring to the table, and what does Chris have to do?
I think Sven doesn't bring a whole lot to the table. I mean, he's a puncher. He wants to fight Chris Eubank Jr. He wants to try to beat Chris Eubank Jr. because it'll be the biggest thing he ever did in his career. Probably one of the biggest things he ever did in his life. So everybody he fights is going to bring that element to the table. However, I don't think this guy has seen nothing like Chris Eubank before. And because he hasn't seen anything like Chris before, it's going to be a surprise factor for him, a shock factor. Because he's going to be shocked by how good Chris really is. And now he's going to step up to the league, to the big boys league. When you step up to the big boys league, you have to learn how to be a big boy. If you don't know that before you go in there, it's going to be too late once you get in there. And I don't think he knows that already.
Chris has spoke a lot about wanting big fights as soon as possible, even by the end of this year. What have you said to him in preparation for those fights? Do you need to say anything? I mean, you were in, of course, the biggest of arenas. Do you pass that knowledge on, or how does that relationship work there?
I always pass knowledge on that they ask for. I don't pass no more than they ask for, because I'm not a guy who wants to brag on myself or brag on what I did. That's not what I'm here for. I'm going to pass on what I did and pass on whatever I can pass to you to help you better yourself. So it's like, it's not about me now, it's about him. So whatever he needs or whatever knowledge I can give him to help him get farther or to help better him at being prepared for these big fights, I try to give.
I'm sure you know the history between Chris Eubank and Billy Joe Saunders in particular. The two at the moment are having a little bit of a thing over social media and in interviews. Do you speak to Chris about that fight in particular, or do you let him handle his business outside of the ring and you work with him in?
He's a grown man. That happened before me. Nothing to do with me. That's their business. My job is just getting prepared for whoever on the other side. If that's Billy Joe Saunders, that's who we get ready to destroy. Whoever's on the other side is who we getting ready to destroy. So I don't care who that is, whoever that person is, we got to go get them. And that's what the name of the game is.
I just want to ask you finally, Roy, very quickly. Manny Pacquiao, and it's off topic, Manny Pacquiao announced his retirement today. A lot of people consider him the greatest fighter ever. A lot of people consider you the greatest fighter ever. I just wanted to get your immediate reaction, if you have one, to Manny Pacquiao retiring.
Thought he had a brilliant career, one of my favorites. Really enjoyed watching. It's kind of hard because he had a whole country that he represented, and when you have a whole country that's behind you every time you step into the ring, it's a beautiful thing. So by him retiring, boxing loses that, because there's not many guys that a whole country gets behind. A whole country got behind Manny Pacquiao. That says a lot. Now the pound thing, I don't argue that. That's people's opinion, but he did a lot. He said a lot. He covered a lot of ground. I think he's one of the best. He'll go down in history as one of the best ever. I enjoy his career, and I hope to see more of him in other arenas.
Just finally, we'll end on Chris. How does the 2nd of October go? Is he looking for a stoppage this time?
Well, because they got a big fight coming up at the end of the year, we will be looking to do more damage. And if we get the opportunity, we'll take it, because at this point, he did a year with me. He understood what I was teaching. He understood the difference. So he came out and showed that last time. This time was supposed to be a title fight. It's not, but it's a guy that we definitely can probably see a guy if we get the opportunity. So if he gets the opportunity, he should take him out. If you don't get the opportunity, just outbox him.
Right, all the very best. We'll see you next week. All the best for fighting.
Thank you.